Hey crafty friends, let's make over this cute little Dollar Tree birdhouse using a candlestick holder and some scrapbook paper. The first thing I did was trace the birdhouse onto the back of the scrapbook paper. When I cut it out, I made sure to cut the peak just inside the lines so that it would fit on the birdhouse. Isn't this paper beautiful? For those of you that want to crackle, that don't know how to crackle, this is a great way to do it. It's also a great way to cover those holes up on the front of this birdhouse. Now I'm using some apple barrel red barn paint to paint the roof and the bottom of our birdhouse. Now don't worry about getting it on the birdhouse itself because we're going to cover this up with paper, you guys. All right, now that the paint is done, we're going to use some Mod Podge. We're going to put a nice little coat on the back of our paper and adhere it to our birdhouse on all four sides. Now again, don't worry if you don't get the edges completely done because we're going to sand this down and we're going to add a little wax. All right, once you have that down completely, you guys, you're going to want to use an iron, a small little iron, like an easy press, a mini easy press, a travel iron, or heat tool or blow dryer to let this set. I used my heat tool, and as you go around, you want to push it down, making sure you get all the bubbles out and that it's down completely. Now I'm going to take my little gator tool and I'm going to sand all of the edges on all sides of this little birdhouse, right where the paper meets on each side. Now I have these little wood slices that I got from the Dollar Tree. We're going to use the ink pad that Tim holds to stress ink, and we're just going to coat the front of it to make that look like that's the little hole, the little opening to the birdhouse. I also have a little wrought iron knob that I got from Hobby Lobby that I found as a great deal, only $1.24 in the clearance bin, so we'll use that as the perch. Now we're going to use some wax to stress this a little bit on all sides, including the bottom and the top of all sides of our house. Once that is done, you guys, and you get the wax where you want it, then you're going to want to coat it with one more coat of Mod Podge over the top. You want to do this before you do it after the waxing because the wax won't stick to your Mod Podge. Now we're going to put a little Spanish moss down. That's going to be the medium between the birdhouse and our knob because the knob is not going to stick to that paper very well. Now I'm using some Tight Bond and some hot glue. You guys remember that the two glues don't mix together, so you want to make sure that they aren't going to touch each other when you squish it down. All right, let's make a quick little bow, you guys. We're going to use the Bowmaker to make our little bow. I have some random pieces of fabric here that I baked in the oven to get that nice wrinkly goodness to make a cute little messy rag bow. Just going back and forth, layering and alternating my colors. Once it's done, you're going to tie it off with your twine, fluff it up to where you want it. And then you can add something fun to the front of it and a little embellishment. I used a little piece of twine that I made a twine bow and then topped it off with a button. All right, there's our little candlestick holder. I think I got this one at Hobby Lobby, you guys. We'll add some hot glue and some moss, some Spanish moss to put underneath our birdhouse to give it some cute little texture. Now, you guys, after I got this painted and I got it on the stand, I was looking at that string and I was like, I don't like this string on here, so we're going to cover that up. We're going to use this Dollar Tree tile, and I'm cutting out the little corners of the tile. It fits perfect on the top of our birdhouse. And I just went right on the line, and you can measure it and look and see how easy it was. Now we're going to use some home decor paint in the color of sheepskin, and we're going to put 2 coats on our little tiles, making sure that you dry it completely in between each coat. Now remember, if you guys have a heat tool, this heat tool will melt this tile, so be very careful and don't get too close and don't do it too long. Now we're going to use a little bit of distressing wax and put it on the tile just to kind of blend it in with the look of the rest of our birdhouse. Just kind of rub it over the top and it will hit those raised pieces and give it the look that you want. Look at how beautiful that looks, all that grungy goodness. Okay, now see, I didn't have it dry enough, and I wanted to get it dry before I put that wax on. Now you're just going to take the backing off of these. There's a sticky part and a clear part. Just make sure you take both of them off and then glue it on. Now we're just going to put some glue on. We're going to glue right over the top of where I cut that string off, you guys. Look at how pretty that looks on the top of there. All right, now we're going to use a little bit of Sweet Annie. Going to give it some embellishments on the side and add our bow. Just play with it, get it to where you like it. I like to add twine on my Sweet Annie, guys, so that it doesn't fall off, and it gives it something else for it to stick to, including the bow. All right, look at how cute that is, you guys. Isn't that the sweetest little birdhouse? All right, now we just need to finish it off and give it a little tag. Now this tag is going to be a little different. I took a piece of cardboard and cut it to be just like it was like a little sign on the top of our birdhouse. And then I also have a piece of coffee stained drop cloth that we're going to stamp the word nest. Then we're going to glue that right to the cardboard and put that on the front of our little birdhouse, giving it its own cute little like welcome sign, you guys. Look at how cute that is. You guys, if you like this, I would love for you to sprinkle it and bring our friends in. Thank you so much for watching.